Being a programmer is considered a dream job. High salary, remote work, endless coffee, and maybe 3 or 4 girlfriends. Imaginary, of course. But beneath the shiny, glowing lifestyle lies the astonishing truth. In 2024, over 65,437 developers from 185 countries. Whoa, there are that many countries in the universe? Took part in Stack Overflow's annual survey, and guess what? Over 80% of developers said they were unhappy and dissatisfied with their jobs. Out of those, 1 in 3 straight up hated their jobs. But the remaining 20% are happy developers. Because maybe they were able to escape the metrics, or maybe because they are the CEOs of big tech companies, or newbies who just learned how to print Hello World. And if you are a new programmer waiting to make a living out of it, it might be little concerning for you and for me as well. So let's discuss in detail why programmers are the unhappiest species in the universe. Reason number 1 is technical debt. It's a huge headache. Over 63% of programmers say it's their biggest workplace frustration. It happens when you take shortcuts to write code, using quick, untraditional, or inefficient tricks to get something working. At first, you're happy because, hey, it works. But the real trouble hits during maintenance. Your code turns into Indus Valley script. When you need to make changes or add new features, one tiny little change can make your code fall apart like a house of cards. Why? Because the sloppy, inefficient shortcuts that you use to make your code work in the first place turns into a nightmare to fix for your 2.5 petabyte caffeine infused brain. And trust me, I've been there. Like when I made the face mask website for the YouTubers, go check out the video after watching this video. I used text file as my database. Yes, I know it sounds pretty stupid, which it is, because at that time I didn't know what in the world a database was or how it works. So you can understand the code was shitty as fuck. But recently when I tried to switch to SQL Alchemy or some traditional database, I couldn't understand shit. Like what thing worked for what, and honestly, I was really demotivated. I felt like a complete idiot, which I am, but honestly, I felt so ashamed and stupid. I felt like a worthless piece of garbage coder, and also thought my channel name is well justified. And man, I could feel it that I was in the primary stage of depression.
He keeps talking a lot of shit, so we will move to next part.
And technical debt is often the result of insane pressure dumped on developers. Let me explain. Reason number 2, deadlines and hustle culture. Now, what are deadlines? The unrealistic timelines that make your life miserable as a developer. Now, imagine this. Your client or manager demands you to add a feature or fix a bug that would normally take 1 or 2 weeks to implement properly. But do they care? They slap you with an impossible 3-day deadline, and if you don't deliver, there is a line of 20% happy developer who are ready to take your job happily. So you drop everything and chug gallons of coffee and started coding like it's last time ever. But let's be real. You can't do 2 weeks of work in just 3 days. So you take shortcuts, add sloppy methods, cobbling together code that barely holds up. And somehow, you make it work. Which means you just created technical debt. But hey, it works. So who cares? You're happy you chugged another gallon of coffee and went to sleep. But this messy code is Python. Later in your life, it will bite you like a cobra. And the worst part, this is a cycle. The shortcuts you took today will make your next deadline even harder, which leads to burnout. But of course, you could say that it's all worth it once I get my $1 billion paycheck on my hand, because programming is still one of the highest paying job in the world. And if you know Rust or Go, two of the highest paying programming languages in 2025, you might find yourself coding inside your own rental private jet. But as a wise man once said, money can't buy happiness. And in programming terms, money can't buy you those 3-day deadlines or fix your late night zombie disorders. Sure, money can buy you a lavish lifestyle, but to actually enjoy it, you need to be happy mentally and physically, and have to meet your deadlines in order to get you $1 billion paycheck. But Here's the catch. Despite the high-paying image of tech jobs, many developers actually reported a noticeable dip in their salaries. The average reported salary dropped from 70 to 85k in 2023 to around 60 to 75k in 2024. I mean, yeah, it's still a lot of money, but definitely a decline. And now we find another cycle: deadlines and technical debt, getting paid less, spending it all on coffee, and then you're broke. And then stress. Which leads us to number 3: stress and bureaucracy. Now, apparently, coding on your beanbags is not enough to cure your stress, both physically and mentally. Because according to some geniuses, sitting all day in front of your computer without blinking even once is unhealthy. Definitely some sort of conspiracy. Like, whatever. Now, you would say using your computer for more than 45 minutes can lead to eye strain, neck, and shoulder pain. Okay, it's definitely not true. Okay, look, I'm not Dr. Mike, so I don't know how accurate these claims are. But one thing I can say, developers are particularly dissatisfied of excessive bureaucracy. Complex approval chains. Like, to get your glowing button into production, you need the Prime Minister's approval, then a President's blessing, then Vice President confused nod, and then maybe your manager says, yeah, it looks fine. Okay, you know what? Let's discuss this in today's meeting. And then meeting after meeting. Because sitting on your chair listening to your manager talking about how you should integrate AGI with your glowing button would be a revolutionary idea, or why his wife is better than your wife, can be pretty frustrating to listen for hours upon hours, which decreases your productivity, which will contribute in mental and physical health decline. That can result in anxiety and depression, according to experts. And the recent wave of layoffs in the tech industry has further elevated the concern, uncertainty, and job insecurity among developers. Now, the conclusion, according to me, is learn more, do exercise, eat your veggies, talk with real human beings, not your manager. And last one, most important, join my Discord server or follow me on X and tell me your thoughts. Why do you think programmers are unhappy nowadays? Definitely not saying to increase my engagement. Definitely.